Hello, guys. Hello, hello, hello. It's my Sunday night time with you. It is 7:50, not 7:30, but I got close tonight and I am live. I hope that you guys are doing good. I'm going to give folks a few seconds to start popping in here. Of course, I'm in my bed because this is like Tanya's Sunday Night Live in the bed. I always do this from my bed for the most part. And I shift around the house and kind of check in on the rest of the family to show you guys. But mostly I'm in my bed. So hi, there's two people there. Hi. Go ahead and comment so I know who you are. Hey Carolyn, how are you? Hello, hello. Hey guys, when you pop in, do me a favor and click the thumbs up button for me, okay? Hey Liz Gonzalez, how are you? Good to see you. Are y'all doing good? Have a good week. Hey, I got five people. Hey Tanya. How are you doing? I'm always looking for Tanya's name because I usually know you're going to pop in there sometime soon. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Thanks for the thumbs up. I wanted to show y'all my jewelry. You know I was going to wear this eventually. We went to an event at Eric's job today. Well, tonight, actually, this afternoon. So I wore this. The earrings match. And I was like, I'm going to do my live stream with my look on. So, funny story. This part isn't funny. It's sad. Thank you. Eric is sick. So the kids and I all were sick like 2 weeks ago. Thank you, Tanya. And Tanya said that I look pretty. Thank you. So the kids and I were sick like 2 weeks ago, and it took a while for it to fade for all three of us. Eric kind of jumped on the tail end right when we were getting better. And I still have a little bit of like, it went away but came back like a little bit of snarkiness, but not bad. But he definitely has a full head cold going on, moving into his chest, and he's hating it. He's so frustrated. So the kids are better. Kalani still has some, like a sty on her eye that's been there literally for a couple of months that we've been treating. And he's sick though. He's like, just feels horrible. So I'm like, everybody's getting sick right now. We're fighting off flu bugs all over Austin. It's just not nice at all. But yes, thank you, Carolyn. I hope he feels better soon too. We just went to Walgreens and bought him a bunch of medicine. Hey, sweet Sadie, haven't seen you in a minute, lady. I'm glad you're here. So we stayed home from church today. He was supposed to play, but he texted the worship leader and was like, I can't get up and go. So in the morning, I mean, last night he texted him. So in the morning he slept in, which for Eric was like till 9. Then he got up. You know, I stayed in the bed though because I know how to sleep. So this afternoon there was a an event at the school where he works. Their headmaster is leaving, and so they were having kind of a going away event for him, a program, presentations, and stuff like that. So he had committed to going to that as well. So he got up, and he was feeling a bit better by midday. So we all got up, and I had been chilling, like literally in pajamas. I think my hair, I took my scarf off, but I don't think my hair was even up. I just kind of had it hanging down, pajamas, the whole nine. But I thought, okay, well, obviously I'm going to have to put on a face and put on some clothes and jewelry. So we went to that, and then driving home, I was like, oh, I'm going to have a face on for my live stream. Because I had figured, well, I'm going to be live streaming today. I wouldn't wear my pajamas. I'd probably put a shirt on, like something besides pajamas. But I figured, be makeup free, hair down, whatever, because I wouldn't just put on a face to do a live stream. That just probably wouldn't happen. Thank you, America KB. I hope he feels better soon too. He came in here today like, I feel so horrible and I'm a terrible sick person. I was like, oh. So we bought him some Theraflu, daytime Theraflu and nighttime Theraflu. That will help him sleep well at night and then have the strength for work because he really can't afford to take off right now. Thank you, sweet Sadie. She says I look gorgeous. Thank you, honey. Yeah, this week, like this month, is really, really one of the busiest seasons at his job. So he can't take this time off right now. So we got him some Theraflu, and hopefully that will take him through. Even if he had to leave, well, really, he can't leave early tomorrow. I was gonna say even if he had to get his meetings done and then leave, but no, he just has too much to do at work. So say a prayer for him, please, if you think about it. We did go out today, like I said, to the event, and that was a couple of hours. from us getting ready and then leaving and then coming back. Hey, how you doing, Yolanda, right? So I was just telling everybody, we went to an event this evening or this afternoon for Eric's job. The headmaster of his school is leaving and they were having a going away event, kind of a recognition ceremony for him. So we went in for that. And so I got up and put on makeup and hair. Well, I just put my hair up. You know those bun sock things? Can y'all see that? You know those mesh things that they use, that they have? I haven't used it in literally years, but I was like, I think I'm gonna put my hair up in a bun, and I don't want it to be a tiny bun. I want it to be a little bit bigger. So I used that, put it up, and then just kind of looped the hair that was out around it. So that's what I did. And when I put on the makeup, I was like, I might have put on, this makeup might be a little bit too heavy, but it's looking fabulous on camera though. It looks good on here, but when I was in the bathroom, I went to the bathroom at the event and was like, that's a lot of makeup. I got on a lot of makeup. A lot of makeup. I got on a lot of my eyes. I don't know if you can tell. Thank you, Yolanda. She says, my hair looks good and so does my makeup. Thank you. I found this burgundy lipstick that I had wanted. I actually want to get one from MAC called Sin. One of my friends was telling me about it, but I wasn't able to pick some up the last time I was at the mall. But I did pick this lipstick up. And I remembered that I had it and I thought it would go with my shirt, which has like burgundies and browns in it. So I used it. Where you at? I just had it right here. And I always put this on my lips first, even with my matte lipsticks. My matte lipsticks will have me like, oh, like I can't move my lips if I don't put some kind of lip balm on first. So I don't know that they necessarily come out the color that's intended because I always moisturize my lips before I put them on. But can't find it. Hold on. I just had it because I did put that back on before I just started this live stream. I didn't do a whole face of makeup, but I did put the lipstick back on because I just ate some beans that Eric made. Thank you, Sweet Sadie, for praying for him. I just ate some beans and cornbread that he made. Y'all, it was so good. I will be showing you in just a minute or a few minutes. And so I ate that right off my face, my lipstick. So I wanted to reapply, but maybe you're not supposed to see it because I can't find it. I found the other one that I had. If you've been with me for a long time, you remember us in Croatia when I bought this lipstick. And this actually, wow, it's not the color that it looks on the screen. It's more like a burgundy-ish color. You're still trying to lose weight, Sweet Sadie? She said, stop it. Still trying to lose weight. Those beans were good, girl. It was 13 bean soup. Some cornbread, which of course was Jiffy with some sugar thrown in it. So this is like a burgundy-ish color, but it looks purplish when it's on my lips. It looks like almost like a pinkish purple. So it was going to be between that and, don't judge me, I have so many lipsticks in my bag. I have this one. This one. I do purge my bag periodically. This one. And even some mouthwash. And this. And my liner, which I used. This was Vino. Where is this lip? I keep this in my purse. Thank you, Lily. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. I'm like, thank you. This is my new jewelry from my friend Kiki from Paparazzi Jewelry. Love, peace, and bling. That's a lot of lippy. It is, Sweet Sadie, and I just really, it's not okay. I need to not have that many in there. But sometimes when I'm going out, I'm like, oh, I don't know which one I want to wear. But then when I get home, I don't necessarily take them out. So I end up with them all in my bag. But I literally just applied this. Like, oh, I put it on the outside pocket. So it's called Burgundy Blush. It's a matte. And it's by, Tanya, you need your glasses on. Hold on. Wow, I looked up and there's 15 people there. Hi, y'all. Here it is. Burgundy Blush. New by, I want to say this is, yeah, Maybelline. It's Maybelline. Hi, LP. Okay, so here's the color. And it's like a brownish burgundy. I love it. Like a brownish burgundy. Pretty, right? I like that color. So I used that and my Vino liner. And I think they go well together. Look, I have some breakouts. I have one here, one here, I have one here. Woo. It's cute. You always like my lippies? Thank you. Thank you. What else do I have here? I have my instigator. I think this is my old instigator. Hi, Sandra India. My old instigator, and you know what it is. Wow, that looks pink. This is Ruby Woo. Whoa, it looks really pink on here. I don't know why, because this is a bright red lipstick. Which one is pretty, LP? This one? The Ruby Woo? This is my favorite. How is my nose piercing going? Sweet Sadie asked. It's going really well. It never really, I mean, it was achy a little bit, but it stopped hurting within a couple of days. And I used maybe this much of the spray. You were just supposed to spray it and then let it drip into the hole itself. It really is no problem. I don't know if you can see, like, excuse my really raggedy nail, but I feel like it's not focusing. Okay, I'm gonna put my finger in my nose so I can show this to you, but see how the post goes up? You can see that. But for the most part, it's a flat ring. I want to get a different color, but I chose this one to do the piercing with. And it goes inside of a post that's then inside of my nostril. But it doesn't hurt. I have no issues with it at all. I love it. And I want to get a new stone. So this part would come out with a little post that is on it, and then I would get a new one to go in and then hook into the post that's on the inside. I think you should totally do it. You should do it, Sweet Sadie. Trust me, do it. I don't think you'd regret it. I was shocked at how fast it healed up. My ear, when I got this pierced, oh my gosh, it was hurting for weeks. Y'all can go back and look at that video. It's from like 2 years ago now, when I re-pierced this, because I had it pierced when I was younger and I redid it. But oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. But I love this. Yolanda, you didn't know I got my nose pierced. I know I wasn't going to talk about it. I was just going to be like, doo, 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 and just let people wonder. I had friends come and visit and they were like, I didn't even notice. Well, they noticed, but they were like, it looks so natural. I couldn't remember if you've always had it or not. And I was like, that's what I was going for. So, I got it for my birthday. I got it done on my birthday, December 2nd, and I am truly in love with it. I love it. I wasn't going to talk about it, but then I did talk about it on the live stream, but I didn't make a title that said I got my nose pierced. So, yeah, I'm loving it, y'all. But yeah, those are all my lipsticks that are in my bag right now. I need to just leave these out so I can put them away. I also carry this, and I don't carry them for eating. I like to have food in my bag because maybe I will need a snack, at some point when I'm out. But often there's a lot of people, homeless people in Austin, and I like to kind of have something to give to people because when you drive by, there's a lot of people who stand on the corners, or like by the highways and are begging for food. So I like to do that. So that's why I have that in there. You're sorry for mentioning it? Why, Sweet Sadie? Oh, you're scared because of the nose piercing. Trust me, it's not bad. The pain, there was pain. I'm not gonna lie, but it was over really, really fast, really fast. Um, it's cartilage, so it's like thicker cartilage than up here. It is. So it's like depending on your nose, like this is the thickest cartilage I have. I can't do this one. Babe, no, Gabe, she has this pierced. I'm just like, the thought of piercing this just oh, sounds horrifying to me, but I was ready to get my nose done. They tried to do it down here, lower, I guess so that I could get a hoop if I wanted, but I was like, I don't really want a ring. I just want a stud. And plus, if you get a ring, you can then get the chains that go back, but I didn't want that. I wanted this, like this. So yeah, Joni, I think it's a good idea too. So I keep granola bars. Sometimes I'll keep like a sleeve of Ritz or something because the reality is I like to eat a lot too. So when I'm driving Eric to work, sometimes I'll have breakfast in there with me, and often we'll pass homeless people on his way to work. So when I'm coming home, sometimes I bring people food, but I mean, I'll give people food, but it doesn't always happen. And I've had this in there for quite a while and I can't find it each time I've been looking for it. So I also kind of trust the Lord to help me with that. And if I'm digging around, I'm like, I can't find it, then I think, well, maybe it's for somebody else. So I think it's a good plan. I kind of committed to that a while back. I was like, I can't have tons of food in the car all the time, but I can have some things to help people with. So that's what I do. And sealed stuff is good. Sweet said, you said all those lippies. I know, it don't make no kind of sense. I have 4 lipsticks in my purse. 4 lipsticks in my purse. No, 5. Because there's a bright one that I didn't even show y'all, and it's another super bright red one. Ooh, where you at? Because I'm sitting in my bed, Lord. This one. I think I bought this when I was in Israel because I was looking for a bright red. I was just feeling bright red. It's Lancome. And these were all in my purse, y'all. Oh, never mind. It's not a bright red. This was a gift from one of my students in Jerusalem, one of my Korean students. Because I would never have picked this color out for myself. But I can actually do different things with that. I think I grabbed this and threw it in my purse thinking it was another bright red that I have that I wanted to try out at Christmas time. And it's just been in there since then. So I'm going to just leave all these out. But I am going to put that liner back in there because you never know. I need my liner in there. So anyway, let me go back and read some of the comments because there was a lot said back here. Good evening, Tracy's channel. Tracy says, good evening. I pray everyone feel better soon. Thank you. Oh, love your hair. Thank you. Simple bun. I might go to sleep like this. I don't have to do much with it. Girl Scout cookie time. Yes, ma'am. I did buy some today. Let's see. You left that comment like 10 minutes ago almost, Sweet Sadie. I stopped at Walgreens when we went to get Eric medicine. And there was a Girl Scout out there with her mom, and I sure did. You know what I bought? What flavors do y'all think I bought? I'm going to let y'all tell me what you think I bought before I tell you. Let's see. Scrolling back some more. Joni says, I carry a separate bag for makeup just for the reason of not overcrowding my bag. Lipstick search. I feel you. Sometimes I have a little bag to put in my purse, but then it ends up overcrowding my purse, and I'm just like, I can't live like this. But I might as well because now I try to keep them in my little zipper pocket of my purse, and that's not realistic. So I think I will do that. I'll go back to that. So Yolanda says, I don't know. I didn't know you got your nose pierced. You go, girl. I wanted to when I was a teen, but my grandmother always told me if I did, she would hit me so hard it would close. So I didn't, and I haven't. See, I feel you. Totally feel you because that's why I didn't get it when I was a teen. My mother was like, you will not be that person. No. Mm-mm. No. She also wouldn't buy me like brand name clothes. And I lived in Brooklyn where all that was important. And my mother was like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. So I didn't have Nikes. I didn't have like these jeans that were like the jeans back in the day, Lee's. I wasn't getting no Lee's. My mom was like, I'm not buying you these jeans when I can go to Kmart and get you some decent jeans or Sears or A&S or Macy's. Y'all don't know about that A&S unless you live in New York, but that's a fabulous department store. My mother was like, nope, we're going to get you these here, Jordache or whatever jeans were out back then that were cheap and durable. And that's what I got, like some dungarees. That's what I got. So this was definitely not happening when I was a teenager. And I was okay with it. The Gap, I do remember the Gap. And I was okay with it. But then when I got older, as an adult, I was kind of like, I kind of wanted one. But I think it was like associated with being like in the hood back in the day. But I wanted it because it was cool and cool people had their noses pierced and they might have had a gold tooth here or there, which I wasn't going to do. I didn't want to do that, but I thought the nose rings were cute, the piercings. So I decided on my 44th birthday, I was like, piercing my nose. Call it a midlife crisis or whatever, but that's what I wanted and that's what I did. And I wanted a teeny, teeny, tiny one. So I found an itty bitty ring and that's what I got. a stud, and I love it. I love it. So I encourage people if they want to get it. I'm like, do it. I wish I had done it at 24 instead of 44, but you know, it is what it is. I wasn't even in America at 24. I don't think I would have done it overseas. But it was such a simple process. It was unbelievably easy, and it healed so fast, so fast. So that's my story. No more pain. Let's see. Hi, Chinezi. Chinezi says, "How is everybody? Sick?" Yep, they're sick. I am not so bad anymore. Got a little bit going on every now and then, but for the most part, I'm fine. Tanya says she thinks I got thin mints. LP says thin mints. Joni says thin mints. Yes, we got thin mints, but my favorites. Oh, Chinezi also says thin mints. Thin mints are Eric's favorites. I think they're the kids' favorites too. So we did get a box of thin mints, but we got another box of something else. What other box do you think we got? Definitely got a box of thin mints. We've already finished one box of thin mints from like last week that they bought. But I just bought a new box today, or two new boxes today. So I'm scrolling through your comments again. Sweet Sadie says, wait, Liz Gonzalez says, "You brave. My mom had my ears pierced as a baby, and there is no way I'm going back to any piercings." Yeah, I got my first piercing, my ears pierced in this first hole here when I was so young. I have no recollection of it. And then I got the second hole, which you can't even tell is there, that I wear things in every now and then when I was like 16, I think. 15 or 16. My mother didn't know. I was in Long Island visiting cousins, and my cousin's cousin on the other side of her family, who was an adult, took me to Claire's Boutique, as it was called back then, and had it pierced for me. Hey, Aksum, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah, and so I snuck in. When I got back to Brooklyn, I was like, yeah, honey, that's okay. I did one other kind of daring thing because I didn't really bend the rules like that, but I snuck and bended.
What?
Why are you busting up in here like that?
Hey everybody, how you
Everybody
doing?
says they hope you feel better. They feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Did you see the pitiful face he sort of turned on there for a second? You poor guy.
Hello. Right now I don't feel quite as bad. It comes and goes in waves.
It does.
Oh, yeah, I feel so bad.
Oh, you poor guy. I told
Yeah, I'm not feeling great.
him that you made yummy bean soup.
Yo,
It was
crock
good.
pot,
Bean
ham
soup.
hock,
Yeah, and I got a big old chunk of meat off
beans.
that ham hock. Was it only one ham hock in there?
No, I put the whole package.
Okay, because I got a bunch of meat. Yeah, that's why it's all good. It's smoky.
And I put the rest of the Christmas ham in there too. That had been in the freezer.
And that cornbread.
The cornbread turned out really good.
It did. Your daughter's sick too. Hey, Cece. I'm sorry your daughter's sick too. Let me scroll back here. Did you want to tell me something, or you just want to bust in here just to make a scene?
I just came to say hi to everybody.
Oh, how nice of you. Thank you, honey. They like you. They were wondering how you were doing.
They're good peeps.
Oh, he said y'all are good peeps. Sweet Sadie. Wait, Eric. Sweet Sadie says you need to eat raw onions in your soup. Don't tell him that.
Girl, no.
Don't tell. He said, "Girl, no." Wait.
I will be up all night long with indigestion and heartburn.
You
and
will, and then you'll
miserableness.
be moaning and groaning.
That is not going to happen.
It's so late, but I don't want to have to smell all that.
And that.
Nobody trying to get you to eat no raw onions. Bye, hon.
Bye.
Love you.
Turn that camera around. They don't need to see my backside.
What? Whatever. Bye. He's a clown. He's silly. Yeah. Shoot. When you start eating raw onions, that comes out your pores. But if he was feverish, I would have him eating onion and garlic. That'll knock out a fever. So let me see. Let me go on back here. Oh yeah, I was saying my piercings. So I got that second hole, and I was talking about I also did a daring thing, a little bit of rule breaking with getting a second hole, and then I dyed my hair with some Kool-Aid. Don't lie. Who else did it? Who else dyed your hair with Kool-Aid? You know some of y'all did that back in the day. If you are over 35, I don't believe you if you say you didn't do it. I sure put some tropical punch Kool-Aid in my hair and rinsed it with cold water so it had a little bit of auburn sheen to it. See, I still did it. Tanya tried it. I put Kool-Aid in my hair. So those were the two things, Yolanda. Oh yeah, Kool-Aid. Those are the two things I did as a kid. I like that was my rule breaking as far as trying stuff. Joni did it once. Tracy said I was guilty. Did you do it, sweet Sadie? I'm telling you, I did it. I didn't do a whole lot of stuff that I wasn't supposed to do, but my cousins came to visit me from Long Island. They came to visit in Brooklyn, and we did that. And I have a cousin who's super, super, super light skinned, and so she had like, like, like a burgundy reddish on her scalp. Sweet Sadie says we all did that. I mean, yes, I'm going way back. Yes, honey, 30 years ago or something, longer than that because I left New York when I was like 14 and I did it when I was living in Trench, when I was in Brooklyn living there. So I had to have been like 13 or something when I did that and got this second hole, I think later after I had already moved and went back to visit. I think that's when I got the second hole. Then I got this piercing up here when I was 18. I was being daring. But I still wasn't going to do this. But I did this one, which seemed less risque. And honestly, it seemed less stereotypical. If I'm just being truthful, that's why I didn't do this at the time, because I didn't want to fit a stereotype. Now I'm like, whatever, whatever. Then I got this one just for my birthday. I would have gotten a belly button piercing, though. I probably would have done that. I got married when I was 28, and I was nervous to like pierce other parts of my body, but I would have done it shortly after getting married. But I got pregnant within like 4 months, and I was wrecked. Like after I had Joshua, my abdomen was never ever the same. So I'm not trying to pierce this area now because I don't think it would look cute unless I got a tummy tuck first. But you know, it is what it is. And I don't really have any other areas that I would want to pierce on my body. I mean, I might consider piercing this side, like the cartilage up here. I would not do these, like I said, and I would not do my septum or my lips or my eyebrows. But I love this nose piercing, and I wouldn't mind more like a matching one for this one up here. I don't think I want more in my ears though, because I barely wear anything in my second hole anyway, because I like big earrings. So since I like big earrings, I don't really do much with the other holes. That's me. So let me scroll back and see if anybody has told me my other flavor they think I got of Girl Scout cookies. I'm seeing it. Some people got it, some people didn't though. I'm scrolling way back. Okay. So Sweet Sadie says, try some tea tree oil on Kalani's thigh. It works great on mine. Really? Isn't that kind of caustic? It wouldn't burn? So the doctors have us putting a wet, hot washcloth on it because it's turned into a chalazion, I think, where it's a blocked duct from the inside that's just not wanting to open up. But it opened up on the outside because she hit her eye on something later. So now I'm thinking that it's just trying to drain from the outside. And I don't know if the blocked gland is going to open, which defeats the purpose. But I don't want to take her to the doctor and have them open it. But I'll think about it. I'm kind of scared to put tea tree oil on her eyelid. It sounds really intense. Janezi said Thin Mints. Yolanda says remember the Gap as far as stores. Yep. Hello, beautiful. Hey, Cooling Winds. I'm sorry I didn't say hey to you earlier. Hello, beautiful friends. It's been a while, but I'm glad to join in today. Hello. Peanut butter patties, Joni says. Cooling Wind says Samoas. Sandra India says peanut butter. And Sweet Sadie says peanut butter. And Chinetti says Samoas. It is Samoas. Samoas! Eric loves peanut butter, all things peanut butter. But our favorites are Thin Mints and Samoas. And my favorites are Samoas. And then Thin Mints are a close second for me. And it's the reverse for the rest of my family. Their favorite is Thin Mints. And then Samoas are a close second for them. So, yep, Samoas. Who started saying midlife crisis? I don't know who came up with the idea. I get the concept, but I'm kind of like, why did I wait this long to start doing things that I wanted to do? So I'm just going to do them now. And I guess that's when dudes start getting motorcycles and tattoos. I don't know. But that's kind of where I am. And there are things that I was like more resistant or reluctant to do before. things that maybe I wanted to do, but I was a bit reluctant. And now I'm like, bump it, whatever. So I've even tossed around the idea of a tattoo. I definitely want Eric to get one. I've been telling Eric to get one for like the last 5 years. So I don't know if that's a midlife crisis, but I really don't care because I want to do it. Yolanda says, why does it have to be a crisis, not just what you want to do no matter what age? Right, that's what I'm saying. But my fear actually that stopped me from getting this piercing for probably a good few years was thinking people are going to be like, oh, Tanya's in a crisis. She's doing this or doing that or whatever. But that's fear of man. You can't live like that. Let's see. These are your comments to Eric. Somebody says they remember Claire's Boutique. Yolanda, you remember Claire's Boutique? They just took boutique off of it and left it as Claire's now. There's several hi Erics. Yes, Axum, he's sick. And he hasn't been that bad actually. He hasn't been super like oh, terrible. But but he definitely he's whined a little bit, but you know, we all get to whine a little bit when we're sick. But he hasn't been horrible. Although he thinks he's been kind of bad, but he hasn't. Sweet Sadie says, I have 7 holes in my ear. My first one, my mother did it with string. Woo! When you and your sister were babies. Wow. I remember seeing people with straw in their ears when I was a kid. I haven't seen that in a minute though. But remember, people would burn the end of the straw and then pierce with it, or else use it. I don't know if they put a needle through and then use a straw in the end. But I remember seeing straw, like a broom, like the straw from the broom, broom handle. I'm like, no, 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 no. Cece, your daughter's sick too. Bless her. I hope she gets to feeling better. He is drinking lots of water. Sweet Sadie, you said the onion will kill the bug. I'll tell him. He could do that at work. He could make himself a onion soup at work or something. Cece, you said juice. You mean like he should drink a juice? Chinezi, you said put an onion in our room. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I have a thing with raw onions. I hate raw onion, like with a passion. I've been working it into my diet a little more, but ugh. Does he do ginger, lemon, and honey? Or do we do ginger, lemon, and honey in our teas? Cooling Winds asks. Yes, we do. So, and he does that sometimes. He makes them for us. So yeah, that would be good for him. But now we've got him that Theraflu, so he'll drink that. And then there's all the Kool-Aid comments. I know y'all did try that Kool-Aid. I only tried it once. Maybe I tried it twice. I don't know. But then I dyed my hair when I was in college. No, not when I was in college. When I was teaching in Tulsa, when I was teaching at college. But my hair, I bleached. I did highlights. So you know you have to lift the the hair in those areas, and it just really wore my hair out. So I doubt I'll do that again. Yolanda says your nose piercing on a scale of 1 to 10. How was the pain? Okay, let me qualify this. It was quick. It was like a second, but I would give it a 7. But it was only like a second because, you know, well, the guy, he went up with the needle through the inside of my nose. He kind of marked it on the outside. Then on the inside, found the mark because I guess he's showing a light through there, I think, or something. Found the spot. He was like, "Oh, that is a thin place," and I was like, "I told you." So then he found the spot, got the needle ready, and I think on the end of the needle is the base of the piercing. I mean, the base of the earring. So then, or the nose ring. So then he kind of was like, okay, take a deep breath. I didn't get numb, no ice or anything like that. And he went like 1, 2, 3, and you literally feel I mean, I felt it like go through and like, like I felt the sensation go like up my face. Like, whew. He was like, breathe in, breathe out. So when I did the breathe out, he kind of pierced it through. And I was like, okay. Woo! And Eric said my kicked up my feet and my toes curled. But then it was done. And you know, because you've just been pierced, the ache lasts for it's not the pain, but just like the shock because your body's like, oh, something just, you know, broke into me. So it's the shock of that for maybe a second or two after that. And then it's like, okay, okay. So it was like pulsating a little bit, but not really hurting. The pain, the initial piercing hurt. My eyes teared, this one pretty much. and then it kind of throbbed for like a minute, and then it stopped hurting, and it was maybe a dull ache after that for a little while. I don't think I even took anything for it. I spritzed it with the saline solution several times a day, and that was it. But it did hurt. I'm not gonna pretend it didn't hurt, but it was like 6, 7. Yeah, it wasn't full scale, full tilt, horrible pain, but it hurt. Hey James, how you doing? But it did hurt initially. So let me go on back at the Kool-Aid comments. That's the fun part of being an adult. Sweet Sadie says, "Yeah, just do whatever you want with this. Is my body. I can pierce it if I want, tattoo it if I want." You remember the broom straw too, cooling winds. I remember that, and I would see that. I think people who did them at home, that's how they did them. I think that's what we did. That's the way we did it back then. Yep. Mine was thick. My mom took me to like back in the 70s, like 1974, because I was born in December of 73. So, 74, my mom took me to like an African shop. And back then, that would have been like people selling incense, dashikis, stuff like that back in the 70s. And I had a thick wire, gold wire, that my ear was pierced with. And I think they literally pushed it through my ear and then looped it and coiled it together. And I lost those when I was in high school running track in New York. My track coach, I asked her to hold them for me, and she lost them. Not my track coach, my track captain. But those were thick, thick, thick wire earrings. So, like the posts of earrings these days, it was like 3 times the size of this. These posts, it was way thicker than what they make earrings with now. That's how mine was pierced. Let's see. I love onions, and they kill everything. This virus going around is no joke. Wait, let me go further back. I got my first ears. Axel says I got my first piercing in a thorn in Ethiopia. My neighbor did it. We numbed it with ice and pierced. Woo! Like a thorn from the yard, from the garden. And they just pierced your ear. Was it your ear? My lord. I haven't done the ice, but I've heard people say that sometimes the ice makes it harder because the flesh is more stiff. I don't know, but I didn't pierce. I didn't numb my nose. I just didn't want to do it. I didn't even think to do it honestly. Liz says people still use straw here in the Caribbean. I know that's the people who I'm thinking of. In my neighborhood in Brooklyn, it was almost exclusively Caribbean. Almost, not totally, but and that's where I would see it. Broom straw. Yep. Sweet Sadie says that virus going around is no joke. You are not playing. And folks got the flu all around here. And Eric works at a school too, so I'm like, don't get sick. Even though he's not, well, he's with kids some, but not a lot. But still, Sweet Sadie says, I love onions and they kill everything. Somebody gotta love them. It's just not me. Liz says, just place the raw onion in your room. It draws bacteria, then throw out in the morning. But my room will smell. I don't like it. I don't want my room smelling like onion. Mm-mm. Does it make the space smell like onion, or is it just Wait, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to see if my charger has come out. Yes, there. Okay. Does it make the whole area smell like onion? Because I don't want that to happen. Okay. Let's see. Joni says, I honestly had to Google the Samoas. Yes, the name has changed. It's changed back to Caramel Delights because the name was Caramel Delights in the beginning, never kept up after the name's changed. That was my next guess. Yeah, they're called Caramel Delights again. And I never heard them as that before. And I remember I was a Girl Scout for half a minute as a kid, but I remember, look, y'all gotta see my necklace here. I remember the name being Samoa's most of my life, though. Cooling Wind says, if he's more respiratory, then try a drop or two of eucalyptus and peppermint essential oils in a hot shower. It will open him up. Yeah, he's had sinus stuff going on, and he's been coughing, but it's not really a productive cough. I think it's just postnasal drip that's giving him a little bit of something. But for the most part, it's a dry cough, but it's hurting now when he coughs. Well, it was a couple of days ago. Now it's not hurting as much, but it's still not bringing up a whole lot. So I don't know if there's much in there. We have a humidifier by the side of the bed, but um, he didn't run it last night. I love that humidifier when I don't feel good. Sweet Sadie has drooly faces on there. James says, "Oh no, I think that's when we were talking about the pain." Hello. Yolanda says, "Girl, I thought they used a gun similar to the ones they use for the ears." No, they don't. Well, he didn't on me. He actually used a needle. It was like a surgical needle. I don't know, but he it was very professional. I went to a studio. It was right next door to a tattoo parlor. Very professional setup. He had a medical bed. He had a like a unit that they dispose of syringes in. Um, he had needles, and so he pierces everyone with needles. I got a gun for my ears, and the guns hurt. I got guns here at Claire's and here at Claire's, but I Claire's won't do noses. And I'm kind of glad because you have people walking around and everything. But I went in the back room. He had me lay on the table. My family was able to come in, but it's kind of more like a medical setup. And he has on gloves, cleans the area, and then right through your nose. It was quick though. It was quick. Bye, LP. I'm sorry you're gone already for a couple of minutes, but you said, everyone, have a good evening. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you. Let me scroll on back because I'm missing a few. I love it that y'all are so talkative tonight. I just have to go back and find the comments. Hey, Vicky. She says, I hope they all feel better soon. Thank you. The kids are doing much better. Eric is feeling yucky. They're out there watching Lord of the Rings. We started at like 20 minutes before I got on here. And I was like, come on, y'all, because the kids were being slow. I was like, come on, y'all, so I can see the first few minutes of this before I go get on my live stream because I love Lord of the Rings. I love it. Good night, sweet Sadie. Good night. Okay, I'm still scrolling back. I still got like 3 or 4 comments. And I mentioned that because I could hear it out there. If y'all can hear it through the headphones, that's what they're watching. Yeah, honey, Sweet Sadie's gone now, but yeah, she lost my nose, my earrings, and my hair. Or she did lose them. She might have not lost them and held on to them, but I don't know. She was my captain of my team. My heart was hurt. My mom was mad. If it's more nasal congestion, try Ocean Spray nasal spray. I'll recommend that. See how he feels about it. Liz says, "Ouch! I saw my mom get her nose pierced, and it hurt her for a long while afterward." Really? Hmm. Yeah, mine didn't. This says, "Girl, Tanya, you went all the way back, 74. Listen, I'm telling y'all, 74. Because my mom had my ears pierced before I turned 1. I was a baby, and I was born in 73. James says, it was looked down upon growing up for women and men to pierce their ears. So I guess I never gave it much thought as an adult. So for me growing up, it wasn't looked down upon for women, but it was for men. And then probably when I was in my late teens, early 20s, guys started getting like 1. And then with my 30s, guys started getting 2. And now it's not a thing. I mean, I had a kid I was teaching in 2nd grade in Israel, and he had his ears pierced. I think he had both pierced. I kind of was like, that's a little grown, but whatever. It's not my kid. I convinced Eric to get Kalani's pierced. I wasn't gonna push it because in his family they were like, it's your body and you should be able to decide when you want something like that to happen. But I was like, the baby's a baby. Just pierce the baby ear. Like black families, just pierce the baby ear. I don't know if that's totally a black thing, but it was for my whole growing up life. Um, so even on my religious side of my family, I think they still pierced pretty young. But I left it alone. She was like 5 months old, and I got some sticker decals for something. I don't know what I had them for, but I just was like, oh, this would probably look really funny. Let me see what it looked like on Kalani's ears. So I put them these little like blingy little diamond looking stickers on her ears, and he was like, okay, go ahead and do it, fine. And I was like, I wasn't trying to convince you, but yay, because they were cute. So we got her ears pierced at like 5 months, and she was fine. She's not a huge earring wearer, but they were super cute, and they still are when she wears earrings. They're really really cute. So I don't think she even remembers the experience or the pain. She had a little lollipop. Took her to Claire's, gave her a lollipop. That was that. They did it. Hey, MP Ford G Child oh 07. I always have a hard time saying that whole name. I'm sorry. But it's Pam from DeKalb, Illinois. DeKalb, is that how you say it? Because in Georgia it's DeKalb, but I think it's DeKalb, Illinois. So good to catch live chat again. Ouch, it's been a long time since I've had a piercing. Only have my ears pierced at the mall at 7 to 8 years old. See, yeah, so I wanted to do it earlier so that she wouldn't remember. Although I don't mind it so much now. Hi from Atlanta. Oh, wait, let me see. Is it Lila Lila Natural, Lila L Natural, Lila Natural one? I'm sorry, but hi. Sorry I didn't catch you when you first came. Hey from Atlanta. My husband and I both are so sick, runny noses, coughing, voiceless, LOL, miserable. Oh, bless your heart. I'm sorry. Get better. And she says I look pretty. Thank you. Sweet Sadie is laughing. Oh wait, she says I look so pretty. You can keep the so in there. James says Sweet Sadie onions are amazing. Y'all could keep y'all onions. It does and only temporary. I'm assuming that means it smells up the room. Liz says it won't smell like onion. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Hey, James, I remember when tattoos were looked down upon. They're considered works of art now. Yep. I love them when they are sweet. Tanya, your facial expressions. I know. I do have some expressions. Cooling Wind says tattoo shops were even banned. No, I'm sorry. She says, yeah, James, I'm sorry, says Cooling Wind tattoo shops were even banned in my state until 2000 something. Were they really? We had to go to Texas for a long time. For real? Were they banned in Oklahoma? Hmm. I'm not surprised about that, especially in Tulsa. But yeah. Cooling Wind says honey is a natural soothing element for a dry cough. Yeah. I'll tell him to use some of that. Sweet Sadie says, tell Eric he still looks handsome even while sick. He does. I know. He's getting a haircut on Thursday. So when he goes and gets his haircut, he'll get his beard trimmed. He usually does the trimming like in between because he goes to get his haircut once a month. And he'll go get it trimmed. I mean, he'll trim it himself in between, but he didn't do it this time because I was like, you looking like Isaiah from Little House on the Prairie. Y'all remember Mr. Edwards on Little House on the Prairie? So every now and then I'll be like, hey, Isaiah. And he'll be like, what? Mr. Edwards. And he'll be like, shut up. But yeah, because it's getting all salt and peppery. I love it. I can't wait till he turns into a silver fox. But we're gonna have to take some time for him to get there because he's been graying since I knew him, since we first met. But I like it. So yeah, that beard is getting big. I like it a little bit lower. My favorite actually is just a little bit of shadow. Like if you look back at our videos when we first came back to the States and he had a really low beard, that's how I like it. But he's wanting to, he's in the beard gang stage thing right now. So I'm here for it and I'm supporting him in it. So he wants to grow it, but he's not gonna let it grow long. With the work he does, I don't think he really could, but he definitely is one of those guys that can do a full. He got that hair. He can do a full beard. So it's full like on the sides, and he'll probably bring it down a little bit more on the sides, and then leave the bottom. And because I'll grab him by the chin and be like, "I got your beard." So he does still look handsome. I'm going to agree with you, honey. Tanya says, you and the family have a blessed week. Bye, Tanya. I know I missed you already, but you have an early day, so be blessed. I hope that you had a good day if you rewatch this. Cooling Wind says she didn't know that tattoo shops were banned. It's crazy. Have a good night. Maybe ginger tea will help. Thank you, Tracy. I hope he does drink that. Lord of the Rings is your youngest daughter's favorite, Yolanda? My kids have never seen it before because we really monitor what they watch, and the orcs were kind of scary, but they're 11 and 14 now. We probably would have let Josh watch it a long time ago, but they're old enough now, so we're fine with it. Good night, Cooling Winds. I missed you about 6 minutes ago too. I'm sorry. And Yolanda says I pierced my daughter's ears after they had their 6 month shots. Oh, that's a good idea. Kind of maybe it's all their torture for the week, but that they're not gonna get sick. Good night, James. See you later. Sonia. Hi, Sonia Thompson. Hi, Tanya. From your title, I see where your family is sick. So sorry about that. Hope they feel better soon. Thank you. Cooling One says, I grew up knowing people who pierced babies, but I got mine done when I was 12 or 13 and felt it like a rite of passage. That's what Eric says. His family does. Nobody could tell me that I wasn't grown. That's when I was first allowed to wear my first little pump heel. James says it was so warm today. Was it warm in Austin? Yes, it was like 65, 68, almost 70 maybe. Yeah, it was definitely warm today. No, I think it was in the 70s. I was just in the bed most of the day. I love them. You are so funny. Which my girls? You loved what? I'm sorry, I lost track. Chinezi says Vicks Vapor Rub. We have some in there. I don't know if he'll want to use it, but we'll see. He's sensitive about scents and fragrances. Now he will moan and groan and whine about that. Oh, it smells so bad. But we'll see. James says banned in 1964, became legal in 2004, the last state to legalize it. Get out of here. Good night, James. No, I'm still here. Oh, okay. I was saying good night to Tanya. Oh, okay. Cool. James says, oh no, I'm not going. I'm here too. Oh, okay. I'm so confused. I'm sorry, y'all. Carolyn says, I pierced my daughter's ears at 6 months. Also, Vicks Vapor Inhaler Chinezi is what Pam says. And James says, Vicks works amazing. Again, I'm getting comments about my facial expressions. I thought about that when I talked about him complaining about the Vicks smell. Yeah, I do. I have funny expressions. Um, Hi, Samira. Just joining the chat. Welcome. Good night, Joni. Thank you for the love. You say feel better. Sending up healing prayers. By the way, Lord of the Rings trilogy is great. Hope you like it. I love it. I've watched them a lot, but my kids, it's their first time. Hey, Miss. Okay, I'll say Red Division. Well, I'll just say, hey, Miss Loretta. Feel better, Tanya. Thank you. I don't feel that bad actually, but Eric is feeling pretty miserable. 30 degrees where you are, Chinezi, in California? Really? Ooh, I hope that doesn't mean it's coming our way. Thank you, Miss Loretta. She says, love you and your beautiful family. Thank you, ma'am. I met Miss Loretta through Miriam and Hunter. Y'all know my girl, Miriam. I'm going to talk about her. Thank you for praying for Eric. He definitely can use it. He just feels just blech. He was on here a few minutes ago. He doesn't feel fabulous. But it kind of comes in waves, and so he'll be like, "Oh, I feel so sick," and then it'll go away, then it'll lighten up, and then it'll come back on. So fortunately, he hasn't really had fevers unless it's late in the evening, and so right around 10ish is when fever will start to kick in. Sonia says, "I see you're wearing your new jewelry." Yes, honey. You see that? Put that strap away there. Yes, this is one of my favorite ones. I think it's so pretty. I love it. And the earrings match it. I love it. But yeah, I'm wearing my new jewelry. I need to tell my friend Alicia that I was wearing it. They look very awesome, very blingy. I ordered some too. Can't wait for them to come. Oh, yay! Did you order them for my friend? Awesome! I have to tell her. Those orders you've been getting, those me, girl. No, but I will tell her that I told her that I've been shouting her out on my channel. So please, y'all, go check out her stuff. It's beautiful jewelry. And it's Love, Peace, and Bling. Love, Peace, and Bling. And Alicia Walker is my friend's name. Alicia Walker is her name. And she sells this and the other jewelry you've seen me wearing throughout the last few weeks. Oh wait, Samira says, hope you all get well soon. I have an exam tomorrow. God bless you, Samira, to prosper you and help you to remember the things you studied and learned. Be blessed and enjoy your exam. Enjoy it. Miss Loretta says, put Vicks on his feet and then put socks on. Hmm. Now that's a thought. I have heard that before, but I've never tried it. How does that work? It like draws it down out of the body? Yolanda says, I'm mad. It got up to 45 degrees here. I need my snow and 1 degree temps. Ooh, no man. Ooh. That's not Yolanda. Am I getting my names mixed up today? My girls, are you Yolanda? Y'all, I'm sorry. I have a Lisa. I have a Yolanda. Help me out. Help me remember. So thank you, Miss Loretta. She says the jewelry is beautiful. Jane says it looks amazing. Thank you. Yes, it was 44 here in the valley, child. I was done. I know you were done, but I got to wear my new snazzy coat, so I thought it was cute today. Yeah, that sounds like our average here for this time of year. I think we usually in the 40s, 50s, but I can't imagine that in the valley. That's crazy. Thank you for your prayers, Vicky. Oh, Kim, oh, Pam, your husband's getting over the same symptoms as Eric. Thank God, no fever though. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of a lot of people being sick this year. Just yuck. I can't stand it. Miss Loretta says it clears up the symptoms and helps to sleep. Oh, with putting the Vicks on your feet and wearing socks. Okay, I'll tell him and see how he feels about that because Tiffany, you're Tiffany. That's right. So I was right with Yolanda. Yes, I was getting my names twisted. So I have a Lisa, a Tiffany, and a Yolanda, and I'd be trying to remember. Um, Lisa is in the Bronx, I think, and she's not on right now. That's what it is. 32 degrees in St. Pete in Florida. Stop it. St. Petersburg area. It's Petersburg, right? Oh my gosh. That's not. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. That's another one of my faces. Mm. It was like that the other morning. How many of y'all follow me on Snapchat or Instagram? Did you see my 18-degree post? Because I was like, why is this happening? We're in Texas. Why is this happening? And the day before, we had this wintry mix of sleet. Like, it wasn't even sleet. It definitely wasn't snow. They closed schools. The roads got a little bit icy, but not terrible. But I was like, if it's going to be cold like this, it needs to not happen. It is, you're right. It's not right at all. This cold, no. And I like cold when it's snowing. That's it. It was 68 in St. Louis, Miss Loretta. See, I could stand 68. That's like now here. I just want it to be sunny though. If it's gonna be cold, give me snow. It clears up the symptoms. I'm sorry, I read that already, Miss Loretta. You said it clears up the symptoms and helps with sleep. Are you taking the DNA test soon? A lot of YouTubers are doing it. I haven't seen a lot of YouTubers doing it, but that's only probably because I haven't noticed or been looking. I actually bought my mom one for her birthday that I sent really late, so she just got it like in November, December. Even though her birthday is way in the summertime. But I haven't gotten one for myself. And maybe I should. I've thought about it. I've thought about that 23andMe, but I got my mom Ancestry.com, and I don't really know which one I would want to do. So I've tossed around the idea, but as far as I understand, and you can help me if I'm using the wrong terminology, but I think it only goes through the mitochondrial DNA on the mother's side. And, it keeps going maternal, 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 right? So that would definitely take me right into my Bahamian family because my mother's mother is from the Bahamas. But then, oh no, her mother though is not Bahamian. She's either from Nevis or Saint Bart's or Saint Kitts, one of those islands. Um, so if I take it, I'm not sure how much information I'm gonna get from. Well, I'll get information, but that's actually the part of our family that we haven't tracked well. My mother has had a hard time. She does all kinds of research in our family, which is why she wanted to do the Ancestry.com. But we don't have a whole lot of documentation on the family on that side. My grandmother's mother. You did 23andMe, Carolyn? So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not. I would like for um, my father's sisters to do it, or for my fathers to do it, my father to do it, his side of the family to do it. Um, and I would get my mom's side of the family to do it too. I just sure wish that I could get the paternal segment. You know, I don't think that it's possible to get that information if I'm correct, if I remember correctly. I'm just scrolling back a little bit. Not Yolanda. Tiffany says most soup or red beans and rice weather. Most definitely soup or red beans and rice weather. You're right. Eric just sent me a text of a picture, so I got distracted there for a second. Yeah, you said yes, I saw your Instagram post. You looked miserable. I felt miserable too, honey. Oh, it was so cold. I was bundled up in the car taking Eric to work. You thought I was in Kansas? No, I used to be in Iowa. I was in Iowa when I was texting you way back. Miss Loretta, I still have your stuff. And I was in Iowa when I was texting you about that, where Eric's family was. or is. We were staying with them for a little bit when we first got back to the States. Janetti says the flu is an epidemic this year. Yep, I think it's an epidemic every year, but it's bad this year. It's really awful. 20, Kim Pam says Janetti and the flu shot is only 30% effective. I never get it. Don't judge me. I never get it. Mm-mm. Okay, Yolanda says that she would do the ancestry tree for her mother's side. Yeah, I would do. I think I would do. I would do it, but my mom is doing it, so I'm kind of like, I guess. Oh, one thing interesting I learned, and I think it was from a 20. Miss Loretta says, "Shame on you. We've got to get together." We do. I just need to text you when we get off of here, and figure out. I mean, Facebook Messenger you and figure out get your address. And actually, we probably need to FaceTime or something like that so I can show you the items and make sure that these are the right ones. Um, but yeah, what I've heard about 23 from 23andMe, what they were saying on one of their advertisements, like one of their like infomercial type advertisements, I think they were saying that you just because you have a specific ancestry. Okay, Miss Loretta, your number's the same. Okay, so I'll contact you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have the same breakdown of, you know, of um, certain characteristics or ethnicities in your specific body. So, for instance, I have Scottish on my mom's side. That's the Lowry. And on my mom's side, there's pretty much biracial people like 5 generations down, where both spouses would be biracial or multiracial. Somebody white. My mom is guessing maybe somebody Irish. She's thinking like an Irish indentured. No, we had thought Scottish, but she's thinking now maybe Irish. I don't know. But the Lowry she's thinking came from an indentured servant, and they would have been Irish. So coming down the line, looking at my mom and her brother, they have the same background. Like they've got Irish back there. They've got obviously people from the west coast of Africa. They've got. I think she doesn't think there's Native American. When I brought it up the other day, she was like, "Mm-mm." But I'm pretty sure I heard somebody in our family say it back there on her side. Anyway, you could have those people in your ancestry, but it can fall out differently in two people in the same family. So one sibling could have more Native American and the other have more African, but they still have the same obviously big pool to pull from, the genes, but ultimately it breaks down differently in different people. So when I heard that, it kind of blew my mind because I was like, I already know race is a construct that we have created kind of to interact with and deal with one another. But I guess if I had thought about it, it would have been clear that it's not static, in people. But I look at Josh and Kalani, and I know they have totally different hair textures. Josh's hair is pretty much like mine. Kalani's is much curlier, like a looser curl, not curlier, a looser curl, less kinky and more spirally. But it's gotten more, coarse isn't the right word because coarse, you could have straight hair and still be coarse. So her hair has gotten more kinky, um, but it's still spirally. Anyway, they have totally different hair textures, slightly different skin colors, not that much different. Um, they have facial features like they have my nose. Kalani has my eyes. Josh, I think, has eyes that are bigger. They're not quite like Eric's. Her lips are fuller like mine. His lips are sort of like mine, but a little bit thinner. Different characteristics. Josh definitely has my side of the family's body, the hijack booty, all of that stuff. Kalani does not. She got a little something going on back there, but it's not the whole short torso hijack. Just those different things that you see. Okay, they're divided up differently, but you don't think about it being. Oh, I hope I didn't embarrass Josh if his friends are watching. Don't laugh at him, y'all, if you're watching. Stop it. Um, I just thought about that because I forgot their friends watch sometimes. But I didn't think about the fact that they may have. You said I'm a mess, Pam. I didn't think about the fact that that breakdown could still be if we start looking at percentages, it could still be different in different people who are siblings. You know, they get the genes differently, and we can see that. But you'll still look at somebody, and Black Americans, we have a way of doing this. We'll look at somebody and be like, "Oh, she black. I can tell she black," right? Even if somebody's very, very, very fair or looks white, even, but they have certain characteristics, we automatically will look and say, "Oh, I can tell that somebody black is in their heritage." That's really more what the reality is, but we'll instantly say they're black. Well, I was really surprised to find that you can look at somebody and people who are in the same family, they can still have different amounts of certain portions of their heritage. So I'm totally being arbitrary right now, completely random, but a person with black and white and Asian, right, which would be black, white, and Native American here in America. So black, white, and Asian, a person, siblings could have, one of them could have like maybe 30% of their DNA be European, 60% be African, and 10% Native American, where the other sibling might have 40% Native American and 20% European, and that was 60, 40, 20, and then 40% African. And they could be siblings, but because that's in their heritage, the way the genes are kind of selected and put together, it could be a completely different mix. I was just like, wait, what? What? I was totally surprised. And I don't know why I was, but it just didn't occur to me that that could happen. But it made sense once I heard it. And Eric and I both were like, our minds were blown. Y'all know that emoji with the mind, with the head coming off? We were blown. We were like, huh, yeah. So he and his sister look just alike, and they both look like their mom, just like her, and they look just like each other. Um, And I'm like, so is that the Swedish? What is that? Is that your grandpa's side or your grandma's side? And now I'm thinking that could be just an interesting mix of genes that come together several times in the same combination, you know, in two different people who were born several years apart. But I know my granny and grandpa have 11 kids. They had 11 kids. And the first child they had, my granny and grandpa are both my complexion. The first child they had was like down 3, 4 shades lighter than me. She was not this color, but she was definitely significantly lighter. And then there were a bunch of them. There were three of them who are my complexion. My dad, one of my uncles, and my aunt, who you've seen a lot, my aunt Mel, who I look like. The three of them have my complexion. We share a complexion. And then I have other aunts and uncles who are like kind of in between, you know, lighter than me. Um, you know, we have these distinctions in America: light skin, brown skin, dark skin. So they were brown skin. That I had an aunt who was like light brown skin, but not light skin. So she wasn't like, she was like dark light skin, but instead of calling someone dark light skin, you call them like light brown skin. So, yeah. So, you know, I'm sure, and we definitely have Native American Seminole on that side, very close. Like my grandmother's mother, or my grandmother's mother was part Seminole, half Seminole, I think. So, cousins, if y'all are watching and I got that wrong, forgive me. But yeah, you see the breakdown differently, and I just found that fascinating. So I've gone on this long diatribe about that whole thing because I'm not sure if I'm going to get it done. I'm interested in getting it done, but I don't know when I will or which one I will. Because I feel like when it gives you a country nationality, I mean, a country as your, you know, telling you ethnicity, that's not really super accurate because these countries are fairly new. Even if they are a couple hundred years old, within a country, you still have many different groups. So in Nigeria or in Zimbabwe or in Kenya, there are multiple groups of people. So we've been using the word tribes for generations, but some people don't like that word. But there are different tribes, different groups, and just if you narrow me down to Nigeria, that doesn't give me specific information. I want to know, what tribal group am I a part of? Where does my heritage come from in Nigeria? Like, do I have two or three groups? Because, you know, slaves were taken from the west coast of Africa. So it could be that I have a variety of different groups of people who are all part of the country of Nigeria. Now, you know what I mean? So the same with like, well, I don't know. I was gonna say Korea, but that's a. I'm assuming I could be wrong. I'm assuming it's a pretty homogenous ethnic group, and Japan. I would assume those are homogenous, but I think within each country they probably say they have groups as well, at least to a certain extent. So anyway, I don't know, but I would be very interested in finding out. So y'all have piqued my interest. Now I'm gonna go back because I got like 20 messages I got to read back here. Um, People are talking about the flu shot. In some years, they haven't gotten it as well. Pam says every time she did it, it messed with her immune system and she would get really sick. See, that's why I don't want to do it. Aksum says, I've never taken the flu shot and refuse every time they ask. Been doing just fine. I let my body fight on its own. It was created to do just that. That's what I feel. I mean, I know we're in dense population centers and we kind of interact with disease differently. We create certain scenarios where they can thrive. But I haven't gotten the flu since I was in college, y'all, and I remember that feeling. So yeah, I haven't had that in a minute. Tiffany says my job makes us take the shot or wear a mask. Wow, I've heard that with some jobs. I actually worked at a daycare center. I mainly worked on the after school side, but they didn't make us get it. It wasn't required. I didn't have to get it. Axum says, I am right there with you. I mean, James says, Axum, I'm right there with you. Yep, I just don't want to get it. Chinezi says to Pam, I had to get the flu shot for work. Yeah, I like it is like get the flu shot or don't have a job. Yeah, that's not nice when that happens. It's amazing how God created human beings. Tiffany says, I know when people have to have bills and kids. Yeah, get the flu shot if you have no choice. Chinezi says, I like Kalani's hair. I like Kalani's hair too. I like my hair too. And Josh's. And they both have the nerve to be tender headed with that hair on their heads. Carolyn says with 23 and me, she says I'm Nigerian 30%, Korean 30%, and Japanese or Japan 30%. Interesting. Japanese. Pam says it's a good thing it's a God thing with respect to genetic recombination. Yes, it's so fascinating. Wow, 23andMe. This is let's see. Tiffany was asking how much it costs. And Pam said she thought it was $99. Oxen says it's expensive, like 180 to 200. Ooh. Ancestry.com was like $70. It wasn't that bad. So Tiffany says, when I was growing up, excuse me, there was a pair of brothers with black parents, but one was a lighter shade of brown with blue eyes, and his younger brother was dark skinned with the same blue eyes. Gorgeous. Wow, really? That is interesting because blue eyes are recessive. So for it to kick in twice with two kids who were brown is pretty interesting. I wondered if I would get a blue eyed kid, but I was like, only person in Eric's immediate family with blue eyes is his dad. His sister has like chocolate brown, like mahogany brown eyes. When they were younger, apparently they were darker. And apparently Eric's eyes were like dark brown, like Amanda's, like his sister's when they were kids. But his are now like a hazel green. And his mom's are brown. And his dad was blonde and he has blue eyes. But, and grandma, Eric's grandma, I'm sorry, excuse me. Eric's grandma has blue eyes too, but I didn't know if it would turn up or not. The white on my side, I think it's way back there. I mean, it's back there somewhere. Like my mom's dad, they called him mulatto, but I don't think that that's very accurate. He didn't have a white parent. I think he had parents who were biracial or multiracial. And so, when they have like multiple generations like that, but back in the day, they called them all mulatto. So I don't know how far back anybody had blue eyes or if it would even pop up. But I've seen people with lighter eyes in my mom's side, but no, nobody with blue. Vicky says, I saw 23andMe kits at Walmart today. Really? You have to pay for the kit and to get it processed. Carolyn says Yoba. I don't know what that means. Like Yoruba? Yoruba? I don't know. Is that the tribal name? I'm trying to scroll back and see if there was a question about it. Okay, you'll have to explain. I'm not sure what that meant. And Tiffany says, I appreciate how fun it is to know details like that, but I can think of better things to do with $99 to $200. Just saying. Axum agrees. Miss Loretta says, I've never gotten one and never had the flu shot. Never gotten the flu? Ooh. You have the ancestry test, but haven't taken it yet. Isn't that interesting? I don't think my mother has done hers yet either. And I'm like, I think if I actually had it in hand, I would go ahead and swab and send it off. But everyone has blue eyes in James's family, as far as anyone can remember. So I never had the flu shot. And so last month I got sick with influenza when I went to urgent care. Sonia, that stinks. Did you pick it up at urgent care or you got it and so you went to urgent care because you had it? Um, I'm curious, and I think that a lot of Black Americans who are descendants of slaves, for us, it may be a way of kind of finding out like what our heritage is, who we are, or at least where we came from physically. We know that our ancestors were taken from West Africa, but that's all we know. And when we find a scrap of information, it's so meaningful. Like my dad's family found out, they found a ship's register with a woman who was taken from what is today the coast of Cote d'Ivoire, I think. Ivory Coast, I think. Going through my African coastal countries there. And so it was so meaningful. They were like, oh my gosh, they found this one woman that she was the mother of a like a great 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 grandfather, like my dad's great great grandfather on his dad's side. And that information, like to find somebody who came here from Africa is virtually impossible. So we're holding on to that, and it's so sketchy. It's so hard to find out because of the ways families were split up. People were bred. You just don't know who your ancestry is. So I think that that's why these DNA companies. I remember when I first started hearing about it years ago now, 10 years ago maybe, I was like, oh my gosh, can you imagine how it's going to revolutionize things for Black Americans who are descended from slavery? Because we'll finally be able to know. We might not know people, but we'll know like where our DNA originates. I don't know. I just so I'm not ambivalent about it. I do want to do it. I just don't know the ins and outs of how I want to get it done. So maybe I am a little ambivalent actually. Pam says my husband and I did 23andMe for free when they were trying to get more African Americans to try it. Wow, really? It was around the time Henry Louis Gates began the Find Your Roots series. Yes, that's when I was thinking about it back then. I thought about it back then and I thought, gosh, this is going to be really powerful. Were you satisfied or happy with the results, Pam? Yeah, trying to fill in the blanks. Exactly. Exactly, Tiffany. Carolyn says, the tribe of Nigeria, I have two hazel eyed children. Oh, Yoruba. Okay. So it said on the paper, it didn't just say Nigeria, it said the specific tribal group. You have two hazel eyed children, but you and your husband are brown. Interesting. I got two brown eyed children. They got brown, beautiful, like chocolate color eyes. I love it. Miss Loretta says, I've been dealing with a busted water pipe in my dad's house. And then a week later, my house. Ooh, from the cold. The last thing I'm thinking about is the test, I'm sure. But I will take, but I will to take my mind off of these two catastrophes. Yeah, because that is hard. Busted pipes in the winter stinks. Sonia says the doctor told me that if I got the flu shot, it wouldn't be as bad. Oh, really? I work in the school, so I think I picked it up there. Yeah, not gonna lie. When you work in schools, man, I'm just, yeah. When I was teaching, and still now, actually, I keep airborne. I keep airborne because I'm just saying, schools are places where it's easy to pick up sicknesses like that because for various reasons. But there's a lot of bodies that are still learning about good hygiene, and not wiping their noses and touching stuff. Tiffany says yes, but it's also another to profit off of us too. Hmm. Yeah, there is that. I don't think it's just Black people taking the test. I mean, I'm sure it's not, but yeah, I see your point. That does definitely happen. Um, but I guess people are profiting off of us all the time. Marketing and industries are always making money off of us, depending on what we want. And unfortunately, the reality is we don't know our history. So this is the way of finding out. It's horrible that it costs so much, but Miss Loretta says, thank God for insurance. I know that's right. Over 100K in damages between both flooded properties. Oh no. God bless y'all. I'm so sorry. That is horrible. Hi, Richard. Richard Plus Films. Hello. Chinezi says, what grade, Sonia? I think she's asking what grade you teach. Okay, y'all, I'm at 79 minutes. I think I'm going to take this to 85. Then I'm going to wrap it up. I just hit 80 minutes. So I'm going to take it to 85. So 5 more minutes. Then I'm going to wrap it up. But yeah, James, thank you for bringing up that question about the DNA testing because I wouldn't do it just as a fad thing. I know a lot of people do stuff on YouTube. I don't necessarily jump on the bandwagon with them when they do stuff, especially if that's stuff that costs money. But but this is something that I'm interested in. I actually have been for a while. I've been thinking about it, and my granny's brother, who was the last of her siblings, passed away a couple of years ago, and I was so sad about it because we had wanted to, or I had wanted, and talked to my dad about asking him if he would be willing to do the test. So, because once a generation is gone, that generation is gone, and then the next generation after them has other DNA in there. So we'll see. But we'll see about me doing it. James says, but for views, girl, LOL. Joking, but really, I hear you. I hear you. If you get a tattoo, what would you get? Me? So I just decided like 2 weeks ago, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to do it. And I think I know where I'm going to do it. It won't be public or visible at all. And I was like, but I wasn't sure what I wanted yet. So I just wasn't talking about it. And then I wasn't talking to anybody about it, like to Eric or anybody. And then I decided on what I wanted. And when I told Eric, he was like, not really feeling that so much. Because I thought, I think I want a unicorn because it's unusual and they're whimsical and they're happy. And if I could get like a metallic colored tattoo, that would be the best. But he was like, that just seems so hokey and cheesy. So I want something like atypical, which I guess a unicorn isn't atypical, and I wouldn't want a whole one, but I like a rainbow horn. I don't know. Then I thought about I just like unusual creatures, and I saw this 3D butterfly tattoo the other day. I was like, that is cool. I wouldn't get that. If I'm gonna get something, it's gonna be more than a butterfly. It would be more unusual than a butterfly, but I'm thinking of like a Pegasus. I don't know, but it would not be someplace where everybody could see it. So that if it looks silly, it wouldn't matter. No, because I feel like that would just is a private thing to me. Like I wouldn't want it out where everybody could see it on my body. Tanezi says, Sonia, you always get the flu when you work with children. I never got the flu working with children, Tanezi. And I taught second grade and third grade for years, but I never got the flu. I did get sick from time to time, but I was that teacher with the Clorox wipes. We wiped down our desks every single week. Monday, I was like, pull them out. We would get the wipes. We wiped down the lockers, wiped down the chairs, wiped down the tables, wiped down our seats, everything. That was my classroom. And overseas, they would mock me about it. My colleagues would be like, "Oh, Tanya, you're such a germaphobe. You Americans are such." And I was like, "Whatever, whatever. I'm not gonna get sick." Plus, we got people from up to different nations in here right now. I'm not fixing to get sick, and I'm not getting none of y'all sick. So we'd have runny noses, but we didn't generally have like half the class out with something. I just believe in wiping stuff down in schools. Wipe it down. Janezi, or wait, not Janezi. Yolanda says, I worked with kids for years and never caught the flu. The last time I had it, my oldest was 3, now she's 28. Same as me. Last time I had it was in college. And child, I remember that. I have never felt like that again, ever. Ever. It was horrible. Like, oh my gosh. I remember being in class and just being like, I can make it. I can make it. And at the end of class, just going up to my professor and being like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I I know that I wasn't really like present mentally. And he said, oh, you poor thing. Go on over to the student center, to the health center. And I remember dragging myself in there and just being like, hi, I feel crappy. And they were like, hey, yeah, so I guess they did a blood test. I can't remember. I think they did a blood test. And I remember them putting me on bed. This is the student center, the college health center at the University of Georgia. Good night, Axum. But they put me on a bed and they were like, here, lay down. They brought me this nasty drink, like an orange flavored drink in a can, which says to me I was dehydrated, something, I don't know, but they were like, you need these electrolytes and stuff in your body. And after a while, I was in there for a minute, just laid out. And after a while, they came back and they were like, you've got the flu. That's the only time I've ever been told, diagnosed by a doctor, that I had the flu. And I felt like garbage. Like, I felt like garbage. It was horrible, horrible. I had a fever. I've had fevers before that didn't bring me the kind of aches and pains that I had with this fever. I hurt everywhere in my body. I hurt and I had chills and it was horrible, horrible. So they got me on something. They were like, we can't tell right now if it's bacterial or viral. And this again was in the 90s, but they were like, we're not sure, but we know you have the flu. So, start with these antibiotics. If it's bacterial, it'll deal with it. If it's not, you're going to just have to tough it out. But here, do take this for symptoms, take this for if it's bacterial, get in your bed and don't get out again for X amount of days. And I just had to go and crash. It was horrible. And I have never, ever felt that sick again. And that was like in 1992 or 93 or something. So I know I've never had the flu since then. Thank the Lord. I've gotten sick, but I have never had the flu since then. The flu is, whew, ugh, terrible. Pam says I have been able to be introduced to some third to sixth generation cousins. That's awesome. Um, let's see. Yeah, Yolanda says she's never had the flu since her kid was 3. Miss Loretta also wanted a butterfly, always wanted a butterfly, but never got one. There's this guy. I don't think he's too far from you, actually. I saw his picture on Facebook. Apparently, it went viral. This butterfly was gorgeous, and it was 3D, so there was a shadow of the butterfly behind the actual butterfly. It was amazing. It was amazing. You should Google, if you're interested in it, Google 3D butterfly. I think he's in Ohio, actually, so it might not be that close. If you're willing to travel to a good tattoo artist, this guy's work was on point. Good night, Axum. She said, enjoyed this hangout. Have to make go. Okay, I'm not gonna read that out loud. She gonna go have a good time with her man though, because he's waiting. So you go ahead, girl, and do your thing. I'm not mad at you, but I'm too embarrassed to read it out loud because James says, I had it when I was like 6 or 8. We just waited it out back then. Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. The flu is the worst. Nana says, that's right, Tanya. I say the same thing. I don't want it and I won't claim it. The flu. Cooling with Tiffany says, oh, go take care of him, Oxum. Good night. Yes, girl. Go take care of your man. Yes, ma'am. I'm not mad. Never had the flu. Wow, that sounds horrible. It is horrible, Pam. It's horrible. I am eating some jollof rice and goat meat. Girl, don't make me jealous right now. You just put some in your mouth too, because that was only a minute ago you posted that. I want to try jollof rice so bad. I always hear about it, and I hear the Ghanaians and Nigerians like sparring back and forth about who has the better jollof rice. I want some so bad. I really do. It does. It always looks good, Pam. It always looks good and sounds good. Oh, I done passed 3.5 minutes past my limit, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. It is so good to talk to y'all. Try to catch this from the beginning if you didn't get to watch it from the start, so you'll hear about my makeup and why I have it on, and why I have my hair in this fancy bun, and why I have on my beautiful jewelry. Look for a video tomorrow. There should be a video coming up tomorrow. It is my New Year's video, I think, because I already posted the one. No, it's from the beginning of this school year. I mean, the beginning of this year. It's from the beginning of January. So check it out. I have a friend who was visiting, and also in the video, I'll be talking about rock climbing because we went rock climbing. So check it out. It should be up tomorrow, Tuesday at the latest. Love you guys so much. Good night, everybody. Good night, Chezzy. Good night, Chezzy. Good night, Chinezzy. Good night, Yolanda. Good night, James. Good night, Miss Loretta. Good night, Vicky. Oh, now I'm looking at these comments again. James says I have a friend made me food from Dominica. Dominica has delicious food, but jollof rice is from West Africa. You're gonna find out, James. Look at I can't. I don't know who can I tell you to watch. Who talks about jollof rice? Evelyn from the internet. She might be able to hear about some jollof rice from Evelyn. No, she's Kenyan though, but she talks about her Nigerian friends who battle about it. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I can't help you. But good night, everybody. I love y'all. I will talk to you next Sunday, but definitely check tomorrow because there'll be a video coming out. Okay? I'll talk to you guys later. We're going back to watch the rest of Lord of the Rings. Bye, y'all.